It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
Hey, Coach, what were you saying about Rolly? You were saying like he broke the myth of...
He broke the myth, man. The myth that said, man, you had to be a national champion in the amateurs. You had to have some sort of good amateur pedigree to even be semi good in the pros, and he killed that myth, man. He came in, and I'm proud of him. He did a real good job in his own career, bringing himself up, and I think he did a good job.
He got pay-per-view at like, what was it, 14, 15 fights,
Yeah, 14, 15 fights on pay-per-view, I mean, that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
That's an incredible feat, So there's a lot of kids out there right now, 14, 15, 16 years old, that can say, hey, man, I could box, and maybe in a couple years, I could be in the position that he's in, train possibly for a world championship. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Yeah, we're here with Coach Errid. This is so for those that don't know, this is like the right-hand man to Salas.
Yes.
Coach, for those that don't know you, like, how did the whole thing with you and Salas come up, and what was your background in boxing?
Well, my background in boxing, man, I started boxing at a real young age, man. You can see this was me at 3 years old.
That's you right there.
That's me when I was 3. So I mean, I've been boxing my whole life. My dad was my coach, sort of thing. So I came up the amateurs, man. I won national titles, silver gloves, junior Olympics, golden gloves, all that stuff, But funny, man, when I was 16, I ran into none other than Floyd Mayweather, man. In a fight, yeah. And
you fought him?
I fought him, yeah.
You told me one time.
It was a close fight, We fought, and then he won. Obviously, his career went one way, and mine went the other, but we maintained really good friends, And him being so successful in boxing kind of gave me the confidence to be able to do it even as a coach. See, that was both of us in camp right there.
Oh, wow, let me see.
That's me and Floyd in 1990, I think it was 94.
That's insane.
USA versus Mexico. I was 16, he was 17. So
Wow.
we're young, but...
My first time seeing this picture.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I came up with him. This is when we fought right here, man, because I fought him twice. Actually, I fought him when we were 11. We were little boys. We fought at the National Pal, and he beat me. It was a close fight, but he beat me. So then I always knew who he was, when I was 12, 13, but I would never see him at the national tournaments. He was never there. So in 93, I heard he won the National Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, he won the National Golden Gloves. So when he won the National Golden Gloves at 16, I was 15, but I still went to his town to fight him in a show. And he didn't want to fight me because I kind of weighed a little more than him. I think I was 2 pounds heavier than him, and he didn't want to fight. This was in Kalamazoo. But this was when we did fight at 125. You can see that body shot I hit him with.
So
that's him, and then that's me right there. That was the fight that you see we both have on our USA uniforms.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. And that's a body shot right there. He's trying to hold me.
Yeah,
So that was another close fight. But, what happened to me was I suffered a brain stroke somewhere in training or somewhere in a fight. I got hit, a vessel tore in my brain and left me half blind to the left side. So I couldn't do it anymore. So I kind of, instead of staying with it and being a coach, I said, man, I hate boxing, and I just started to
You
live
grew
another
cold
life.
towards the sport.
Yeah, I completely turned my back on it. I didn't want nothing to do with it because, I had given it my whole life and then got nothing out of it, not even $10, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't make nothing out of it. So then I had this crazy idea to move out here and start working with pros, but I didn't know how. So I came out here. I ended up getting with Thomas Delorme.
Yeah.
And I worked with Thomas Delorme when he fought Ugas.
Okay.
Well, that was kind of weird because we were going against Salas, and this was in 2017. So then when Delorme lost, he stayed with Joel Diaz, and I couldn't go to California and work every camp with him. So he ended up fighting Jamal James. He didn't look too good against Jamal James, so that's when he came to Salas, and he brought me to Salas. So then when he brought me, me and Salas had a great relationship. We vibed really good, and he was like, "Hey, man, if you want to do this, if it's something that you can see yourself doing, I need some help. Why don't you join the team?" And that was about 2.5 years ago, and here I am, man.
Yeah, one of the best gyms in the world. So much talent here. So you're God worked it out for you to where you're in a very blessed position.
You said it right there, man.
Yeah.
I'm in a great position. I work hard every day. We're training these guys from 9 a.m. to 3, and these are just champions coming in the door, champion after champion, knowing that we got to work with them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of hard work, and I put a lot of pressure on myself because. I know what goes into this. I know what these guys had to give up to get to this position.
What they're feeling and stuff.
Sacrifice. Yeah, man. And I feel like I have to do that myself in order to be level with them. So I sacrifice and I come and I train and I sweat with them and work hard. But at the end of the day, it's just working with these guys, you know, and loving what you're doing. And I've done this since I was a baby, so you know, this is probably one or two things that I'm actually good at in life.
Yeah.
So here I am, man.
Yeah, no, and what you're saying makes a lot of sense because like I go to a lot of gyms around the country, and out of all the gyms I go to, I would say like you're like one of the people I can tell when you're in the gym, you're like really happy to be at the gym.
I'm happy to be here because I mean I love boxing. You know, I mean something that I've done since I was a little kid. You know, my father brought me up in the game. You know, I've won a lot of tournaments boxing. I feel like maybe if I wouldn't have got hurt, I probably would have been one of them boys that was very successful, that came out of that 96 class. Because with those guys, I knew a lot of them.
96, that was that
the
Floyd.
96 that was Floyd. Look it right here. That's David Reed right there.
David Reed, yeah.
That's David Reed
Man.
and me right there in Colorado Springs. We were on the same team on
That's
that
insane.
one. USA versus Mexico. Check it out. This is me. It's me with Floyd. This is me and Fernando Vargas. See Fernando right there?
Yeah.
That's me, and then that's David Diaz right there. That's the coach that made De La Hoya.
Robert Alcazar.
Yeah, that's him right there. And then that was at the JOs. And then right here, I got pictures with all them guys, man. If I didn't have these pictures, nobody would know who I was. But that's Diego Corrales right there. That's me. My bad, I'm with the middle finger up. But you know, back in '95, that was the cool thing to do.
I know.
But that's Diego Corrales right there. That was in a training camp in Colorado Springs, getting ready for. I think he was going USA versus England.
Okay.
And we were USA versus Mexico. So you know, the USA team, we always trained together. So you know, just been doing this since I was a kid, man. Just now on a different perspective. Now I'm working with the champions instead of being one of them. I'm working with them, trying to help them with little things. You know, my big thing is defense. It's moving your head and working with the noodles and having them move, and you know, just
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
No, follow this kid.
Oh.
You know, he's a true, he's a young, true, passionate person who follows boxing. He wakes up thinking about boxing and he goes to sleep thinking about boxing.
This is true.
Good kid, good man, and looking forward to seeing him everywhere in the boxing world.
Hey man, if you ain't subscribed to True School Sports, you fucking up, man. Make sure you subscribe, bro.
Fucking up big time.
Make sure, man.